Oh my gosh, I forgot to hit stream. Okay. Hello. I am here now. Talking to myself for 10 minutes and I didn't hit the broadcast button. Ah! This is what I get for not fixing stuff. Hi. How are you? Yes, you're here. We're all here. I've been sitting here for far too long trying to just talking with some people. I guess myself. Although that's not too different from how this usually goes. So welcome, Kama. Welcome, Farfalla. Welcome, Lav. Welcome, welcome, one and all, to the stream where I don't know Jack. And I don't know how to operate this fancy computer. Welcome! Welcome, Demo! It's been ages! Welcome to the stream. It is I, the horse. But yeah, so yeah, as I was saying, comma, you're saying you have to leave in an hour. That's half the stream, so you're good. You're here, still here for most of the stream, anyways. Oh my gosh, a horse, of course, of course. Oh, congrats on the new GPU. Oh, actually, 2 hour now? Woo! Man, you're going to stay for the whole stream. That's nice. That's very nice. So, so as I was talking to myself in the eternal void, um, I was letting you know, Karma. I haven't uploaded all my idle hooves art yet. I haven't added a single shred of Officer Friendly yet. So I got caught up adding Officer Friendly. All right. Well, thanks for dropping by, Demo. It was nice seeing you again. Uh, but yeah, definitely. Hopefully, you can pass me on with Discord because maybe I'll be better at responding to Discord messages this year. I I try. I just forget. I forgot all the time. Uh, also, thanks for dropping by, Lavi. It's great. We really need to hop into call again, but we're on completely different schedules now, so that's gonna be rough. Oh yeah, you still have to upload Topaz and Cersus. Uh, I know, Lav. I've actually been attempting to respond to messages, even if it's just a reaction image now. Oh, I've heard Blackjack's let me when I was at Everfree. Blackjack and the Salticus let me in on a lot of things that's been happening over there. So yeah, I'll definitely want to talk to you soonish because lots of stuff's been going down. So, but hopefully it's all working out for the better for y'all. Yeah, we'll figure out a time thing. Have a great one, Demo. But yeah, uh, so should I just dive right in to what happened last weekend? You're still in Pittsburgh, so I'm pretty happy. Nice. I Funny enough is I was looking at the prices and I'm like, if I didn't have to move so far away, I might consider moving out to Ohio as well. Everyone's just bunking up with blackjack. Who knows? But what have you missed? Not much. You definitely didn't miss me forgetting to hit start stream. No, not at all. No, everything worked according to plan, according to the master plan. Also, I'm going to officially be uploading Officer Friendly to Derpaboru. Oh man. I didn't mean to hit that button. Everyone moves to Ohio when I have to leave. So, I'm probably not going to move to Ohio just because of how far away it is. Also, my sister's offered up a plot of land. I just have to put down some money for a mobile home to be put on there. Other than that, so I'm probably going to stay. Oh gosh, I accidentally clicked into the main screen and someone made G a G3 version of Sunburst. Hold on, I gotta send this cursed image over to someone I know. Um, hold on, because that has to happen. Um, here you go. Enjoy. Enjoy, Snuggly Lewd Bird. that is for you. All right. So anyway, sending curse things to people aside, but how are y'all doing? It's been a couple weeks. It's it's been a long while, and now I get to tell you about my first con in, gosh, 6 years. Oh yes, so I was getting that comma. So I went to a con. I went to Everfree Northwest this last weekend. Great time. Had a grand old time. First con in 6 years. Uh, Funny enough, my last con was the last BronyCon, and I finally saved up enough money to go again. So woo! I also, in case anyone missed it, I had bought from a local friend who made me custom buttons to hand out at the con, and I handed out nearly all of them. So there are at least 40 people out there right now with Idle Hooves buttons. Some of them you will know. Yeah, first con since the last Protocon. Yeah, I mean, like, it kind of makes sense for a cutoff laugh because it was last BronyCon, then the pandemic, and then I was broke. And now I'm not broke, so I can go to cons again. So, but so yeah, that is all what's happening there. So it was nice going back to Everfree. Honestly, Everfree was like one of my favorite conventions to go to. Back when I was going to a couple of conventions a year. Uh, Sad that my home con is no longer here. Rest in peace, Crystal Mountain. But Everfree is the next closest thing. It's only a 12-hour drive. Gosh, that 12 hours gets longer and longer every time I go. Not compared to some of my friends who drove for like 3 days, but quite a long drive. Next year, I'm definitely taking Monday and Tuesday off. I need a whole extra day to recover from that drive. Not as young as I used. I can't say that. I already feel old enough sometimes. Anyway, back on topic. So, I've been handing out Idle Hooves buttons to some vendors, some con goers, left some on the free merch tables that are always around a convention hall, and I passed some out in person to people to famous bronies that you may know. You'll even find me in some of their con vlogs. So if you watch certain people's con vlogs, you'll see me full in the full outfit, chatting with the person. Only a 12-hour drive is the most American thing you've said. You're, you're not wrong. You're not wrong there. Yeah, Babs. Babs was pretty fun. Oh, I never went to Babs because it was always over Easter weekend, and that's when my family hosts a family reunion. So I could never go because it was always over that holiday. If it was the weekend before or after, I'd be fine. But no, it had, for whatever reason, people are like, no, we get a cheap discount here, so we're going to have it over Easter. I mean, fair enough. You gotta do what you gotta do. But I just wanted to go to it, but I didn't want to miss out on the family gathering. Wish I could. I wish I got to go see you. Hey, maybe next year. I hopefully this is the restart of a long line of me actually going to stuff again. Who knows? I might not be going to Everfree next year, but to Cider Fest. I don't know. I still haven't decided. It's a whole year away. But yeah, so the con was great. Unfortunately, I didn't get to take many pictures to show y'all. Although I did see a really cool. You're going to go cider this year? Nice. I didn't get any pictures except for one that one of my friends took of the coolest cosplay I ever did see, where they where it was a person in a horse costume, and at first, and he could go from bipedal to quadruped, and he actually like bowed at some people, and it was the coolest. It was the coolest thing I ever did see. Let's see if I can find the picture, and I can just post it on stream. Ah, there it is. Hold on. What is? I've never. I guess I never label this stuff. So this is what he looks like, just standing up and whatnot, and he could just fully like stand on his hooves, and he would just actually like bow to people. It was so cool. But yeah, it was a grand old time. Did some sketches with people. Uh, got to meet some famous, got to meet some famous people, and it was great, including like a, a pretty great but like not super well known artist, Arcane Thunder. If you haven't seen his stuff, uh, he goes really great. I love his style. It's kind of like show style, but slightly more exaggerated in certain aspects, and it just looks really well put together. Holy shit, that looks amazing. Yeah, right? Who came up with that outfit idea is a genius. Sounds like I had a ton of fun. Oh, absolutely. And my wallet cries for it. But it was well worth it. Uh, Fun fact, if anyone saw me at that convention, on my hat I had an Idle Hooves button right front and center, and I bought one of those like little LED signs that just pointed to it and said free buttons. So, and I had quite a few people come up to me, said love your button, and I'm like thanks, and I gave them more buttons. And then just meeting random people in the elevator, because they're also like in the same con hotel, and you're like, oh man, it's so and so. I won't say anyone's specific, but it was great stuff. I also possibly got a job offer. I won't say any more until like we talk through more of the details of it. But but my stuff might be put on a shirt. Who knows? But yeah, it was a great 3/4 days of fun and revelry. Somewhat surprised more didn't recognize Idol, but then again, we're old guard. Yeah, I mean, like if I ran it into someone like that played the Equestria War mod, they might know Idol a little bit more, but he's more of an obscure character. The best part about thing is this also plays into Idol's lore. You're living the life, eh? Yep, always. And it was kind of accidental networking as well. Uh, so okay, so hold on. Let me let me bring the hmm. So so um so yes. Let's go with yes. As you can see, I'm a book hoarder. And and I say that my most expensive purchase was probably Past Sins. It's a big chonker of a book, and it's limited edition. Although the the Dead Tree series was also pretty expensive. I think this uh, book 3 was like 70, or no, it was like 60. I don't know. Pri- Prices don't have meaning at a convention, unfortunately. Because I refuse to believe that picture is accurate. What do you mean? What about this picture is inaccurate? This is pretty much everything I bought, with the exception of one item, uh, as well as a bunch of buttons that you wouldn't even be able to tell which ones were new or not. You're hiding more off screen. Okay, hold on, hold on. Okay, fine, fine. You wanted this, so so so. I'm going to sound really quiet for a little bit, or who knows, I might yell. Also, a couple of the stickers are on a different page. You want everything? I'll give you everything. Ahem. Gosh, this jacket's heavy. Oh. Hold on. We're almost there. Sorry if I sound pretty much non existent. But, comma, you gotta realize these books are the most expensive thing. All those books together, they're about they're about $600. Just those books. That's that's the reason why they're the most expensive things I own. Okay, hold on, almost there. Gotta dig some stuff out of the closet because I am a goblin hoarder. You're expecting a large plush like all those other vlogs. I didn't have a spare $400 to spend on plushes. I mean, I do have plushes, but they were definitely not the big, large, chunky boys like everyone else has. Almost there. And hold on, just gotta take a picture. Phone, cooperate for once in your life. I said cooperate. Oh no, so the buttons weren't showing. I have to take the picture again. Okay, it was just one. Okay. I gotta redo the buttons on this for next year. This was kind of a rush job, I'll be honest. Hold on, almost there. Nearly there. Yeah, the whole series of Enchanted Library. I think I got one of the last copies, so it was great. F- but funny enough is I haven't really finished the Enchanted Library. I, I mostly collected it because I'm a hoarder. Hold on, upload quicker. Come on, no, don't scroll all the way back down. Are you uploading yet? Oh, I'm in airplane mode. Oh, no wonder it's not working. Go. Do it. Do it. Do it. There. Up. There it is. There it is. Stop. Uh, my computer hates me. It's sad to see how many plushies were for sale, considering both past Trots and Babs. They were mostly sold out. Yeah, no, there were a ton of plush stands. A whole lot of them. That is for sure. Yeah, I don't care. Give me. Gib. There we go. So these were the last two things. Hold on, let me move you over here. These are the last things that were not in that main list. I could have made my. I tried. I really tried to get into that workshop, but you had to be one of. They only had 50 kits, and they were sold out, they were all gotten before I even arrived there. And I tried to get there 15 minutes early, and they were still all out by the time I got there. It was ridiculous. In the great words of the roly poly gods, get good scrub. Hey. But yeah, praise upon these buttons. These are buttons that I've collected over the years, beginning in, I believe, 2016 when I did Nightmare Nights. That was the first con I ever went to. A couple of the newer ones, like you got my idol pin, you got the sliding rainbow dash and rainbow toast. Um, let's see, what were the other new ones? All these ones with the paper background, those were in a random grab bag. Uh, let's see, which other ones were brand new? Oh, Flutterbat. This is a great Flutterbat pin. I'm so glad I managed to snag that one. There was also... Okay, so you can't see this one too well because of the glare, but this was a different friend who also got buttons made. This is a Raccoonicorn from Gen 5, and it's a party Raccoonicorn. So he was handing out party Raccoonicorns the entire con. It was great. Nope. Oh, Snail. I got Snail Pone. Snail Pone was great. Did I get any other new ones at this? Oh, Hitch and Applejack. That was also a random grab bag. Glad I got that one. And I believe that was it in terms of newer buttons. And then these were some of the newer stickers I got. Got Shell Pony, or Chony, if you would. A couple of stickers. And I didn't know these sticker books existed. I'm so glad I found out that these sticker books existed. Because now I'll buy stickers. My least favorite thing about stickers is that you could only stick them one place, and then they were gone forever. But now I can have stickers, and I could reuse them if needed. Flare Dash is great. They unfortunately they didn't have any Soren Dash stickers either, but Flutter Dash is also a great ship. Did you see the guy with the ribbons? He was collecting one for every con he attends, so no repeats. I I saw the Applejack guy. There was a guy that had so many Applejack badges on, it was kind of ridiculous. But yes, that was the entirety of my haul from Everfree. Lots of great stuff. Most expensive things there were the books, but I'm an avid collector, so I have to. In fact, I even know the guy who runs the Pony Finder stand. He recognizes me on site. He's like, "I got more books for you," and I'm like, "Yeah." Penstroke did not sign it. I don't. Oh yeah, he was there giving autographs, but I was at a different panel. I think I was at the Lucid Dreaming panel by Baron Angle at that time. So I unfortunately did not see that, but it looked like it was great fun. David Silver, yep, he is a pretty chill guy. Every time I show up, he's like, "I got a new coin and I got more books." And I'm like, "Fantastic, sign me up for them." I don't even play D&D, but I still own the entirety of Pony Finder. Oh man, Pony Finder was great. I unfortunately did not see any of the Chrysalis uh, at at the Book Nook this year, which I'm sad about because that's the one book I did not get from the Fallout Equestria series. Also, it is going great. Welcome to the stream. Uh, I can wear a mask too. Would you prefer something shorter? I can still say I can wear a mask too every time, but it's a bit of a mouthful, but I can definitely do that. Uh, when I take the time to learn Pony Finder, I do want to try it again at running an idle inspired Pony Finder game. That would be fun. I think you might enjoy Roan as well. Uh, Roan is a different Pony Finder. Whereas I can wear a mask one. What did you do to them? No, but yeah, Pony Finder looks great. I love it. Roan also looks like a ton of fun. And also, I just love all the artwork that's in there as well. And not just because it was mostly drawn by Baron, but uh, the lore. The lore is fantastic. But yeah, gotta hang out with people. You can find my face in. I'll reveal it now. You can find my face in Little Shy's VOD. I actively hand them an idle hose button, and they wear it throughout the rest of the con. It was fantastic. uh, and I'm glad that they were a great sport because I introduced myself in the cringiest way possible. Not because of starstruckness, but I was trying to be funny. And looking back on it, I'm like, ooh. Because I'm like, "Would you like a button, my lord?" Can you tell I have no social skills? Don't tell him the time skip. Let him watch it to find it. Yeah, go check out Little Shy's new vlog video. I need to watch it through myself, but you'll see me. I'll pop up at random, and it'll be a blink and you miss a moment. But yeah, I'm not going to give the whole surprise away. I'm the best ghost pwn. Oh, the best and only ghost pwn. Honestly, I think I should just make it canon at that point. Equinox, not a Pegasus. He's actually a ghost. Maybe. Hold on. Let me. Hold on. Let me. Uh, no, I don't want to transform. I want to. No. No. No, none of this is what I want to do. No! That's gonna make him less opaque. No. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, filter? No, 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 no. How would I put a noise gate? Why? It's gosh, I don't know how to use this program at all. It's like a 5 foot tall ribbon chain. Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. But yeah, the uh, Everfree went out without a hitch. No one recognized. I didn't see anyone from the Discord there, unfortunately, or maybe they just missed me. But that jacket that I showed you earlier, that was my con attire. So if you were at Everfree and you saw that guy roaming around, that was me. And maybe we'll see each other at a next convention. Coming to a state near you. Because unfortunately, none of them are near me anymore. Sadness. Who knows? Maybe I'll attend the local furry meetup. And I'll just keep on handling. Oh, you know what? That's a great idea. I make different buttons for every convention. And so that way you have to just. And I'll turn over year. So this is the original Idle Hooves button. Come to Trot next year. I really want to go for the theme. Ooh, that'll be fun. But yeah, no. This year it's going to just be Idle. Who knows? Maybe next year I'll put Cersus as the button, and then just go through all of it. Then then Idle Stash. Maybe even have an officer-friendly button. And you have to collect them all. There'll be 50 per convention, so there's plenty of opportunity. Which reminds me, we still haven't have any references for the Idols Guard group. Do we have a name for his squad mates? Are we just calling them the squad? Or is there something more like extra that we can call like bold bold windy and shining and idle? Is it Nimbus? Is it Wispy Nimbus? I think it's Wispy Nimbus. It's been too long. I want to collect buttons. It would be good for my collection. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm an avid collector of buttons. I might have to switch over and custom make like a trench coat just so I can fit more buttons. The squad is accurate even if we're not. The squad is accurate even if we're not a part of the same regiment. Aren't they though? I mean, now they aren't, but they were for the longest time. Whoa. Gosh, my ADHD just is turned up to the max today. Don't know why. It just is. But yeah, Idle in the Squad. Gosh, that sounds like a band name. Gosh, now we have two rival Idle band names: Idle in the Squad and Blacklight Eclipse. Is Idle in the Squad the cover band? No, not the cover band. They're like the studio band. And then Idle just migrates to Blacklight Eclipse. Or, even better, that's what Blacklight Eclipse used to be, as Idle in the bands. And then they're like, yo, we can strike out on our own. And they changed their name to Blacklight Eclipse. Like Toto. Yeah, honestly, this isn't even all my buttons that are on that hoodie. There's a few more. Most of them are doubled, so I don't really count them as more buttons, even though they technically are more buttons. Might give away those buttons at some point. That'd be fun. Because I don't need doubles. I just want more buttons. Gosh, a full trench coat just covered with buttons from head to toe. Now that would be a con outfit and a half. Oh, hope. Gosh. Come on. Come on. I don't know why. It's not working with me. Stitches. Maybe I don't want to put that one on there. It's not the right thing. Anyway. But yeah, that was pretty much the whole con weekend. Lots of horses. Gotta actually. Oh, actually, the most valuable thing that I got at the convention, and I didn't need to pay for it. Y'all, uh, so the most valuable thing I actually got is actually something that I brought to the con itself, and then I somewhat made it more valuable by me bringing it to the con, and it was. It was Project Horizons. I have one of the few copies of Project Horizons, and I got it signed by Somber themselves after they did a panel, and that was very fun. He's a really chill guy. It was nice meeting him. And oh, I almost forgot that. See, G4. But yeah, that was a fun time. Anyway, should I try? Because I try all the time to get this book read in this institution. Gosh, I still need to figure out a voice for Eggmare. Eggling. Let's see. Eggling would be. Let's just. It's Labor Day weekend, so no. Wait, what? Now I'm confused. Hold on. My brain is too far ahead in the conversation. I don't know what I said that you responded with Labor Day weekend. Oh, to read it. Okay, gotcha. Oh, what other stories beside Horizons uh, that I besides the original and Project Horizons, what other ones have I read? Or no, sorry, that I've liked. I haven't read a lot of Fallout Equestria stories. Um and the ones that I have read, some of them are just like unfinished, which is a shame. Let me check my library. Do 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 do. FOE. No, not Fallout. Oh, that's a good one. So, Fallout FOE Influx. That's a pretty good one by Lex the Pikachu. That one was very, very interesting. V, welcome! You missed me showing off all the merch. Well, welcome, welcome. Nice to see y'all. But yeah, but Influx was pretty good. Um, Speak, I haven't finished that one yet. It's also unfinished, but it's actually written by one of Somber's uh, editors to as more of like a continuation of Project Horizons, and I love the characterizations in there. Heroes. I haven't finished that one either. I almost finished the whole thing. I just haven't yet. And it looks really fun. Oh no, guess I need to show it off again. I mean, V's seen most of it. Uh, just like Clockwork, that's another good FOE one. Stallion is a clone? I think it's been a while since I've read it. I think clone. Clone. Not clone. Test tube baby. He is a test tube baby. And he slowly becomes the doctor. Very fun concept. Unfortunately, it got abandoned back in 2016. Rest in peace. Pink Eyes, another great one. Really sad, but it was a really good one. Why are you showing... I don't understand the search results thing on FimFiction sometimes. Because it's like, oh, you have another page. I go to the new page, and it's repeats from the first page. Why? Do you not know how search results are supposed to go? Oh man. But but yeah, so those are some of the ones that I've read through and I've really enjoyed. I still need to read Murky #7. I own the book. I just haven't read through it yet because it's really hard to dive back into the depression arc of Fallout Equestria sometimes. Sometimes it's easier. I actually just finished rereading the original series again. Yeah, it's another great FOE. I need to dive into it. Anytime you dive into a book, for me at least, it always takes 10 times the effort to dive into a new one than it does to continue reading one that you're already reading. Like, for example, I'm reading through Brandon Sanderson's work right now, and it's just really nice and easy for me to jump from one to the next. Starting a new series, though? Impossible. It's just not happening. Maybe if it has an audiobook, maybe I'll listen to it later. But for now, that is somewhat not in the cards. Also, Changeling Pizza. Love this one. That's a good one. Pizzaling. Yeah, there's a lot of great FOE, and I just love how people have taken the um, taken the characters and whatnot. Oh, why are you so laggy? You're not supposed to be that laggy. Move over here. Oh, and you're gone. Okay. But yeah, lots of time. Agreed. For example, every time I try and jump back into the Wheel of Time, I'm obsessively required to reread The Eye of the World. Honestly, Eye of the World, not too bad. Love The Eye of the World. The second one, which I can't remember the name of for whatever reason. Hold on. The Great Hunt. I'm like a quarter of the way through it, and I just can't bring myself to finish reading it, because uh, because the guy, what was his name? Uh, Randall Thor. I I don't like him. He is the edgiest teen. He's the edgiest young adult to ever edge, to ever be edgy, and it's really hard to read. I'm like, give me Perlin. Perlin's great. I want to read more of Wolf Boy, but Randall, he's terrible. I don't. Everyone says he has a lot of reasons to be miserable. At the same time, I'm just like, oh, please, can we get over the edge so I can continue reading this great work of books? Randall's rants going through his best arc. Yeah, I just wish he was less edgy about the whole. There's only so much edge you can take. Every time I jump back in, keep getting cut with all the edge that's dripping off of this guy. Because, gosh, I'm like, yeah, no, you don't like a character's arc when you're begging for a new chapter to switch to a different person's perspective so you don't have to be in that edge anymore. Once he finally realizes what he's doing his old character. I know, everyone says he gets better. It's just he's hard to deal with right now. It's kind of like the saying, like, oh, don't worry, it gets good at chapter 20. You have to still suffer through 20 chapters to get to the good bit, no matter how much it makes sense for his characterization. I'm at the bit where I'm actually fairly early on in the book. I've just got, if I'm remembering right, they just left like the Badlands, like, or they're just setting out from the Badlands, and he's being all angsty because, like, when the person packed like his bags for him, that he's all edgy about, like, they only packed like this fancy shit. I don't want to stick out. Oh, woe is me. Like, yeah, but you're sounding really like a really entitled prince, which is what you don't want to sound like, but you keep on falling into it. Just stop. V helped me with us write a similar line for a story. Celestia telling Luna a fool doesn't want to get near because she's worried she'll get cut from her edginess. It's true. FOE Merchants of Fate is another good one. Ooh, I'll have to try that. Also, another one that I want to read, but I haven't yet, I want to dive into it, is FOE Chrysalis, I believe is the name, by Phoenix Dragon. Love his other work with changelings, so Fallout Changelings, even better. And I'm still so sad that I missed out on both printings of that book. I mean, if someone burned all my clothes and dumped a bunch of really upper class suits on me, I'd be a bit pissed off. Yeah, like I said, I get it for his characterization, but I hate reading about I hate reading this characterization from his point of view because of how edgy, because of how edgy and whiny it is. It's like you can make this a whole less of a hell on yourself if you just be like, well, I'm pissed off about it, but I'll deal with it later. The long winter. The title itself sounds great, so I'll have to check that one out as well. But it's like, yeah, they burned all my clothes. Cool. I mean, honestly, if my clothes were burned and they were like, yeah, here's a bunch of fancier shit you could never afford ever in your whole life, yeah, I'd kind of be down with that. like, yeah, there's some sentimentality towards like my older clothes, but like, if you're getting brand new stuff and it looks great, it feels great, Why would you complain? I maybe I'm just not that much of a materialistic guy. I say as I look at all my merch. If someone burned my books and gave me uh, brand new sets of like fancier tomes, yes, I would be pissed. I'd be more pissed than if someone burned my clothes because clothes are clothes, but those books are rare. So yeah, I know I have to dive back into it at some point, but if but trudging through it, I feel like I have to just turn up the audiobook to like 4x so I can skip all of Randall's edginess, put it back down to point 0.5 so I can stay as long as I can without his edginess, and then speed it up again once the edginess starts again. He doesn't think he's the dragon. He doesn't want to be the. I know, I know, which is why I'm like I'm fine because it's. I know it's edginess with a purpose. I just hate reading the edge. I just hate reading how edgy it is. I'm not saying it's bad writing at all. I'm just saying I don't like to read it. Yes, communication is always the failure of all these young adult fictions. If people would just talk to each other, half the conflict would resolve itself. But no, since they're still practically teenagers, they have to be all moody and shit for good reasons, but doesn't mean I enjoy it. Doesn't mean I enjoy that edge. Yeah, like I said, this is why I enjoy the work by Sanderson himself rather than Wheel of Time, because I know Sanderson wrote the last three books of Wheel of Time, but yeah, sometimes the edge gets a bit too much for me for Wheel of Time, and then I dive back into the Cosmere, and I feel much better about myself. Like I said, V, I know, like I said, Drake, I know that that's great character development, but just because it's great character development and it makes sense from a characterization standpoint doesn't mean I like to read. Doesn't mean I like to read that part. Doesn't mean I don't want to just completely skip over it because it pains me to read it. Yes, I know it's edgy. I've been saying it's nothing but edge. The first book had a little bit of edge, and that was fine. It was fine. It was a perfect amount of edge. Now it's becoming more, and with the more edge it is, the harder it is to read. It keeps stabbing me in the eyes, so keeps cutting me from all this edge. Which is also why I couldn't really get into Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, because the kid holds a lot of edge onto him as well, but more of like an emo kind of edge, which is somehow better and worse at the same time than Randall's edge. It's also one of the first refusing the call stories. I know. Like, I understand. It's all for a reason. I just don't like it. It's like how my brother put it. He read through Dune and absolutely didn't like it. He explained it to me. It's like I can see where they're going with it, and I know it's one of the first like modern sci-fi stories, but I can see what the concepts were being written, and I know that they were better written in works after this part, after this one. I think it suffers a lot from the fact it's become a lot more common. I mean, yeah, that's fair, but yeah, refusing the call stories like they're fine. I don't mind them at all. But you th- and I do accept that you can't fix his characterization in one book and he'll continue being edgy. Like look at the Stormlight archives. Kaladin's still an edgy fucker, even though we're in book 3 now. But he is only edge. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so like I'm reading through Oathbringer right now. Kaladin's still edgy as shit, but it's not nearly as edgy as Randall is. Yeah, like I enjoyed Dune. I really enjoyed Dune. I don't know if I'll go and read the rest of the series, but I really enjoyed Dune for what it was, and I liked the world building of Dune. It's a chonker of a book, but it was really enjoyable to listen to. I might not go back and listen to it, but it's a really good listen to anyway. Yeah, Great Hunt is literally Rand going, I don't want to do this. At least read up to God Emperor. I plan on finishing it. It's just really hard for me to throw sand in my eyes and be like, I know it'll get better soon. I know there's some gold if I read long enough. Dragon Report is going, fucking, I'm going to prove I'm not this guy. For me, I think the issue I'm having is when I hear edgy, I think of characters going out of their way to be sad. I mean, yeah, that's kind of Randall's whole thing. Well, for me, edgy is just like edgy and emo kind of go hoof and hoof with each other, where they're like, it's so miserable being me because I have all this great responsibility thrust upon me. No one's life could possibly be worse than what I'm going through at this moment. Everyone hates me. Like, that's the kind of edge I'm thinking about. And that's exactly what Randall's going through. And I don't like reading through that. Yeah, I get you. It's like watching the first two seasons of a show because you're told it's gold from season three on. Yes. Rand, you're holding a flaming sword and you're just deck Satan in the nose. Oh, that's great. But like Kaladin, like, so I'm going to go back to Stormlight Archives because I just finished. Uh, I'm in the middle of that series right now. I just barely started Oathbringer, and like the first two books, fantastic. The second book was definitely harder to listen through because of how edgy Kaladin is throughout most of it. Uh, and it feels like the edginess kind of wore off onto Shaban as well throughout some of it. But it didn't get so edgy that I didn't stop reading it. It maintained an acceptable level of edge. And Kaladin has way more reasons to be edgy than Rand does. You just did it live on Twitch. It was sponsored. Yeah. So there's a lot of stories that I've picked up, read through until I couldn't physically read it anymore, and I put it down and I haven't gone back to it yet, but I plan on going back to it. Such as Name of the Wind. I know it's fantastic, but TV tropes ruined my life, and my brain got ahead of the story, so now the third hand embarrassment has affected me so hard that I can't pick it up again until I fix that. Who sponsored it? God. I cast gun, prepare to meet God. So, yeah. So I'm going to be eventually circling back to that, but I still have to finish all of. I still have to finish all of Stormlight. Gosh, is that how you spell the Aes Sedai? I am so glad I didn't read this book, or I would have been calling them the Aes Sedais the entire time because I have no idea how words are pronounced. The Aes Sedais. That is. I'm. I probably would have pronounced it Sedai, but I don't know how you get that it's I. I had no idea it was written like that. Gosh, this is why I listen to audiobooks because I I can't read for shit. I'm so glad, V, that you aren't throwing a jumble of letters at me and be like, pronounce this. No apostrophes. You haven't put a single apostrophe in the middle of a name yet. Oh, they have a pronunciation guide. Oh, thank goodness. More books need a pronunciation guide. You could read if you read. Yeah. It's like when I was reading through Project Horizons, and I mispronounced one of the characters' names so poorly that I didn't even recognize someone was referencing that character when they pronounced the name correctly, and this was the author uh, at a panel that I attended. And that was Project Horizons. I pronounced Lacune, Lucane, throughout the entire series. I had no idea that it was pronounced Lacune, because I had no exposure to anime bullshit, no, at all. So I was just like, I don't know how to pronounce Lucane. No, it wasn't. So I was very confused when someone in a panel with Somber was like, "Oh, I love this part with Lacune." I'm like, "Who the hell is this Lacune character?" So I take it very face first on what pronunciations are. Navani's name is bullshit to spell and pronounce. Oh, Naveen. I'm still. I'm still in uh, uh, Stormlight mode. So I was like, is that how you spell Navan? uh, Navan? No, it's Naveen. Which I could see that you could get Naveen out of that pronunciation. How did you get Aes Sedai right immediately, but half the normal words you encounter take 3 attempts and a pronunciation guide? Look, look. There are so many words that you never see in a book, and but you've heard them all the time. So if you hear them, you're like, I gotcha. But if you read them, you're like, what the hell is that word supposed to be? That is me constantly. Yog Waitley. Uh, Gosh, I haven't read any of Lovecraft's work, but yeah, fantasy names are bullshit to pronounce and spell. We all just have to get behind that at this point because everyone's like, how do I make it so it's fantasy enough? A couple of apostrophes and put in some silent letters. I'll really fuck them up, and then I'll only tell them what the real pronunciation is when the audiobook comes out a few years from now, so everyone will get the pronunciation wrong when they ask me about it, just to troll them. It's like the classic, it's like the classic meme of becoming a prolific author and writing 3 different endings to a story, and or writing 9 different endings to a story, printing them out in various rarities, having everyone get into arguments about which version's the canon version, and then coming clean and saying, "Oh yes, I'm so sorry, but the I'm so sorry, but yes, there are 10 endings," and watch everyone scramble to find out where the hell the 10th ending is. that's how that's how names in fantasy just read, honestly. Also, Aes Sedai, I've only ever listened to the books, and Aes Sedai is very clearly like one of the more common words in that book of a fantasy language. So of course I'll remember Aes Sedai. But if without that primer, and someone just like pronounce this, I have no idea. Nana Evie. Is that how? I don't know how to pronounce that, All Star. I'll be honest with you. But yeah, there is lots of fun in fantasy, and I've been loving the Cosmere so far. Sunlit Man and Tress, top tier stories, love them. Also, uh, also War, Warbringer. No, what is it called? What? I just read it. I should know this. Warbreaker. Warbreaker. That's a great book. If you want to find a great magic system, Warbreaker is fantastic. If I ever write and get published, I would write two versions of a final book, each with their own endings, and publish both at the same time. Let readers choose their own adventure and ending. Yeah, that's how some people do. Oh, actually, there is a book on FimFiction that does that exact same thing. It's called Forgiveness Pending. It's the sequel to Memory Pending, and Forgiveness Pending has three endings to it, and you get to choose which one is canon. But most people think that the third ending is the most canonical one, and I prefer that one too because everyone's happy at the end. And it actually makes sense from a narrative standpoint due to spoilers. I won't tell you why it makes sense narratively that there's three different endings that are all equally canonical, but I will say it does not break the fourth wall. It is wholly situated within the magic of the characters. So you can choose an ending at will, and it will be canon within its own story without breaking any of the story's own magic rules and without being meta about it. Great read. Really great read. And especially if you like sci-fi and aliens. I know that story ant's great. Yeah, that one's great. What other ones? Oh, Cryo 7. That's a great one. Unfortunately, the author it's a abandoned fic. But where he got to the story, fantastic stuff. So if you want to just ignore that the story doesn't really conclude, give it a read because it's a trip. It's a real good trip, and it's a nice long read too. But anyway, I think I've ran out of things to. No, maybe. Oh, I forgot about Skyward. Skyward's another great series of Sanderson's. If you haven't read Skyward, she is also edgy as hell, but it's bearable. It's a bearable kind of edge. Although I can't wait for Elantris Part 2 to come out. Elantris was a great story, and I can't wait for more. Gosh, I'm just going through my audiobook shelf and just looking at the stories that I've read. I'm like, that one's good. That one's good. That one's good. Yeah, I still need to do things and stuffs. And stuffs and things. Gosh, I just realized I still have 555 unread chapters in my reading list. It will be finished eventually. I just need more. Later, need to get ready. Glad you enjoyed your con. I hope everyone here has a great rest of the weekend. Yeah, enjoy. Have fun, comma. Glad you were able to join us on stream. Maybe next week we'll be able to get more things done. Who knows? Just, it really honestly depends on when my nephew's birthday party is. My niece and nephew. They have their birthday party next weekend, although my sister has still yet to tell me when the party is. Is it on Saturday or is it on Sunday? Because I could do either. But my plans require on knowing which one's which. So if I do stream next week, it was on Saturday. If I don't stream next week, it was on Sunday. Who knows? I might move the stream to Sunday or to Saturday anyway, or I might change it into an editing stream. Who knows? Because God knows I still need to finish editing not only this series, but Savage Skies as well. I am several months behind on that project, but proofreading takes ages, and I don't have the mental fortitude to read that closely all the time. I might actually do it after this stream, honestly. Walk around for a little bit, and then get it back into editing mode with that. That'd be a good way to do that. I don't know. Anyway, I still have a half hour left. I can do things still. An evil clone of blank. I wonder if anyone will ever like make a Fallout Equestria with Idle in it. Like maybe have him be cryo froze for the entire time, or we just do the same thing that we did for the entirety of what is it called? Putting Idle hooves in G5. Just have him be turned to stone for a few millennia, and then when he comes to, boom, wasteland. That could be a way to do it. Although I still feel like G5 needs to do more. Or not G5. There are more stories to explore in G5. Absolute. Oh, gosh. One of the panels that I went to was things that were going to be in G5 that were cut because of Hasbro. Because Hasbro canceled the season early. Gosh, it was gonna be so good. You have no idea how good it was gonna be. Like, we would have... So, it was actually revealed that Twilight was actually going to be coming back in G5 full in the flesh from the Wishing Star. There was going to be so much good stuff happening. And that's like the least things that was going to happen. And I'm so upset. I am very upset that G5 was allowed to flourish like G4 was. And mostly because CEOs doing what CEOs do and changing everything. This is the last pony you would want to face in the Equestria Wastelands in Merchants of Fate. The Goddess? I don't know. Goddess was like usually the last person you'd like to face. Lightbringer. Are we following the villains around the entire time? And then they have, are we the baddies kind of moment? That'd be an interesting take in it. Who knows? I'll eventually get to it. I have so many other stories on my to be read list, and this is adding to it. Let's see, how many is in my read later list? Get out of here. I currently have almost 400 stories in my to be read later. Yeah. Yeah. It will eventually be done. Eventually. Maybe. Who knows? I wish I had more time to read than I do. Although I I've put out that hint at the beginning part of the stream when I was talking with Lav. I might be moving to my own place on my sister's property that she graciously is lending out to the family and is like, if someone wants to build a tiny home here, go ahead. I might be one of the people building a tiny home there. So I might be able to actually like get my own place. And there's this like 3-bedroom trailer or 3-bedroom manufactured home that's for sale. Pretty pretty inexpensive and looks great. I might have a lot of time on my hands after like getting the whole place set up to actually just like do random shit like reading. I don't know why I can't do it here, but I'll be able to do it there. That's going to be great. I'll be able to read again. Woo! Maybe it's because I don't have a proper armchair to read it in. I feel like the books are best consumed in like a recliner of some sort. Because when you're a kid, you read it in bed because that's the most comfortable place. As an adult, it's far less comfortable, at least for long periods of time. So then you turn to couches, and they're great, but it's not what you need. But then recliners are great, and I have a recliner. Unfortunately, it's in storage right now because I don't have room in this house, but I would have room in that house. If I move into a new house or if I move into that place, that 3rd bedroom is going to just be turned into a library. I'll have all the spaces for all the horse words. Oh, I've already mentioned Heroes. I'm like halfway through that book. I actually got as far as the equestrian narrator read through before they semi-abandoned the project. I heard they restarted it recently, but I haven't checked in a while. But yeah, I would like to listen to that thing again. Funny enough, I got introduced to Fallout Equestria through Heroes rather than the original fic. So I was so confused the entire time reading Heroes because I had no reference for anything in this world because I was not a Fallout fan. So I had no idea the Fallout part of it, and I was just catching up as the story was running at full pace. You really need to read the first story you really need to read K-Cat's original story to get a primer on the world. Because if you dive into any other side story or any other alternative canon, you're going to be lost immediately, without fail, every single time. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. Oh, I almost forgot to add this still. And I should be adding. Boop, boop. But yeah, so that's where most of my reading time goes. Honestly, I'm strictly pretty much just listening to audiobooks at this point because I drive for like 50 hours a week. So that's where I get most of my reading time. I can almost finish an entire Sanderson book in 1 week. It'd probably be more if I listened to more than on uh, 1 time speed. Maybe I'll try 1.5 next week or tomorrow. I can't believe it's already tomorrow. Weekends pass by so quickly, but you know that your job has very weird weekend rules when you look at it and be like, oh man, it's a long weekend this week. It's 2 days. 2 days is now a long weekend for me. I wouldn't even know what to do with myself if I had 3 days off. Oh man, but let's get back to the thick of things. So let's see. What should Eggling Uh, what should she sound like? I feel every time I've read her section, I always feel like her voice is not poised, but more like um cold. She she feels like she has a certain coldness to her, which I feel like is fairly accurate. But I don't know. I'm just the narrator. Okay. Honestly, I feel like man, should I do gosh, should I after releasing this book release an audiobook format on like Itch.io or something like that? Like anyone could just download the MP3 of the entire book in one fell swoop. That would be something I'd be able to do. I'm just wondering if I should. I might. I really might. All right. So anyway, that random thought out of the way. I have a half hour to do whatever I need to do to get it done. So let's see. Let's make it more like. Let's go for up a little bit. Not like proper, just something around here. I think we might be too spicy for itch at the moment, given the big stink. Well, the thing is that it's free. I don't care to make money off of this. Like, I mean, I could, but I don't care to. There are so many. Uh, I can't tell you how many times my parents or like people in my family are like, "Wait, are you not getting paid for this?" I'm like, "No, of course not." I I'm doing what I enjoy doing, and if I get paid money for it, then I would stop enjoying it. I think even if I were able to be into like the YouTube partner program, I don't think I would even turn on ads because honestly, that just ruins an audiobook experience to have it constantly interrupted with ads all the time. And honestly, I think the only part of this book that's too spicy for itch at the moment is Canterlot. Is the Canterlot wedding. Everything else seems to be just fine. Just fine at all. So, I'm going to be basing Eggling's voice off of Lyra in the 100th episode, where she's just like, hello, when she's like pissed at Bon Bon. So let's see, like kind of up here, but just more of a flat voice. Not nasally, but flat. Hello. My first egg was deemed unsatisfactory and chosen not to hatch. I was told to choose a I was told to do choose a different sire and try again. Again, I was deemed unsatisfactory. I was told not to bother seeking a different sire. I sought to prove my third would be fine by hiding it. So, a little bit back, fine by a different sire. A different sire. A different sire. My first egg was deemed unsatisfactory. There you are. Just right up in the roof right there. I believe I've found uh, egglings. Maybe? I I believe. Oh, that sounds really close to Luna though. Gosh, curse my lack of range. No, and don't dare give her an accent. Because we all know I don't do accents. So let's see. No, Luna is more in the nose. It's the nose who knows that knows. No, we're not going back. No, not the transatlantic. Very brittle. Very brittle. Or are you talking about very British and it's just auto-corrected to brittle? Darling. My only reference for transatlantic is rarity. My first egg was deemed unsatisfactory and chosen not to hatch. I was told to choose a different sire and try again. Again I was deemed unsatisfactory and told not to bother seeking a different sire. I sought to prove my third would be fine by hiding it. I wanted a larva, but the queen deemed me unsuitable. There we go. I believe I have found our eggling. Egglings unite. We have found you. And now we shall curse you with the disparity of my accents. It's, you know how long it's been I've watched Inspiration Manifestation? It's been far too long. Also, that reminds me, so my friends and I played Pony Guesser at the con. Some of them were very easy. Others were diabolical. One was just a butterfly on the screen. We're like, it's a butterfly! Where's that from? And we kind of guessed Cutie Mark Chronicles. Luckily we were right, but we're just like, it's just a butterfly. Why is it just a butterfly? And then there was also one where it was just, the screen was just green. There was no shapes in it. It was just green. We're like, what? It's just a green screen. Why? When did this green screen show up? Turned out it was the cutie map. Or no, the cutie remark? It was the season finale was Starlight. Gosh, it was, oh, some of those were diabolical and so hard to place. Ah, accents. Why is this character Scottish? Because I can only do 3 voices. Welcome, Warlord. It's been a while. But yes, I believe Eggmare should be not calm, cold, calculating, because she does break. But I always feel like anytime I hear an accent along these lines, it is for very certain individuals that are on their, shall we say, breaking point, that try and maintain control even if they're falling apart inside. Just a little bit too sharp on the consonants that you can definitely tell that something is bothering them greatly. The changeling before my door. Idle. Suddenly British. That I ever do another if I ever do another April Fool's one, it's just going to be Idle is suddenly British this whole time. No, we don't question it. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Okay, there. Oh, hold on. Hold on. There we. Are we good? Oh, it's. I messed with the adjustment. No. Okay. I think that should be fine. I haven't even opened up the file yet. That's how recent. I believe this is Moonshine Down. Let me just double check. After 55. Alright, yes, this is Moonshine Down on me. Yep. Tracks, new, mono, moot. Oh, it's really. Is it really not good? Oh, it does record things. Perfect. Hello, hello, hello. You got some lousins for that, you love? Crystal? Oh my gosh. The changeling before my door. The changeling before my door was a familiar one. Truly few changelings needed to visit me more than once, perhaps twice a year, and many only came to refill because they had provided assistance to still other changelings, whom I then refilled in turn. Some never returned, and I hoped that they were well, but knew that some mistrusted their fellow exiles far more than others. The crystals did not hold energy indefinitely, however, and it seemed that my constant interactions with an alicorn whose powers involved a heightening, perhaps a purification of love, made me a relatively constant source of refreshment. One take! Let's go! Hello, hello, hello! No, I just can't do a Cockney accent that well. I've tried. It's always failed miserably. Let me just make sure that this sounds right. The mare ahead of me, however, had 5 crystals, had been bringing those crystals to me, perhaps every season. She was no longer so frail, so frightened as when I had met her years ago, but I fear she had never found what she was. Damn it, it could only last for so long. The mare ahead of me, however, had 5 crystals, had been bringing me those crystals. The mare ahead of me, however, had 5 crystals, had been bringing those crystals to me perhaps every season. She was no longer so frail, so frightened as when I had met her years ago, but I fear she had never found what she had been looking for. There was a certain hurt from her that was unusual for our kind. I did not typically pry, but perhaps it was the lingering of. I did not I did not typically pry, but perhaps it was lingering effects of Luna's moonshine, even as I replaced dim crystals with brighter. Hey, Jamie, how's it going? Nice to see you catching one of my streams. Very, very surprised. Welcome to chaos. Oh man. Where I attempt to read and it never happens. I did not typically pry, but perhaps it was the linger. I did not typically pry, but perhaps it was lingering effects of Luna's moonshine, even as I replaced dim crystals with brighter ones, placing hers amongst my collection so that it was not too terribly noticeable. Why were you banished, if I may ask? Why? Oh, Wrist, why did you pop on me? Why were you banished, if I may ask? She gave me a flat look, clearly unwilling to speak of it. I had once asked. She gave me a flat look, clearly unwilling to speak of it. I had asked once before, years ago, and she had been displeased then as well, and refused to discuss the matter. Still, years of quiet sympathy and assistance had accrued some sort of social debt within her, and she relented. I wanted a larva. The deemed queen me unsuitable. I wanted a larva. The queen deemed me unsuitable. Nope, not sharp enough. I wanted a larva. The queen deemed me unsuitable. I blinked. That is unusual. Truthfully, to my understanding, the hive was in a sort of constant growth, and refusing to allow any to reproduce would mean another would have to lay at least twice before even stasis in population was achieved. I have never heard of such a thing. My first egg was deemed unsatisfactory and chosen not to hatch. My first egg was deemed unsatisfactory and chosen not to hatch. Bitterness seeped from her, outrage even. I was told to choose a different sire and try again. Again, I was deemed unsatisfactory and told not to bother seeking a different sire. She glared at me. I sought to prove my third would be fine by hiding it. I sought to prove my third would be fine by hiding it. I blanched. There were few things the queen was very explicit about. All eggs were brought before her. I blanched. There were few things the queen was very explicit about. All eggs were brought before her. There were to be no exceptions. Without her guidance, absolutely no eggs were to be allowed to hatch. Any found outside the nursery. I was caught with 2 eggs. They were farther along than usual, but the queen herself inspected both of them. I was caught with 2 eggs. They were farther along than usual, but the queen herself inspected both of them. There was outrage. There was outrage boiling over within her, and destroyed them. I tried to stop her. It did not go well. I did not know what became of the eggs the queen decided should not be hatched. There was outrage boiling over within her. There was outrage boiling over within her, and destroyed them. I tried to stop her. It did not go well. I did not know what became of the eggs the queen decided should not be hatched. Well, that was horrifying, and yet. Well, that was horrifying, and yet. I may have a task for you. If she was this protective of the young, even in the face of the queen herself. You have an off. You have an off. Voice, stop cracking. No, I'm almost. I made it through the hardest part. I have 9 minutes left. Let's go. Let's see, how much farther do I have? Too much. way too much. you you have an offspring. You have an offspring. Her voice was stunned, horrified, amazed, hopeful, and hungry. Yes, perhaps this would work. No, that is not possible for us, as I believe you know. Nymph was cheerfully oblivious to us, reading one of her blasted daring-do novels. I did not know how the bumbling archaeologist managed to keep surviving destroying temples and stealing artifacts, but she was certainly prolific. I had let slip once that I had met her, and the hatchling had shrieked in absolute joy. Children were strange. Then how? Nymph was brought to me to finish her training and to see to her health. She would have been unsuitable for the role of infiltrator. She is... I hesitated, not sure if Topaz's claim of color blindness was well known as she had insisted. I hesitated, not sure if Topaz's claim of color blindness was as well known as she had insisted. I hesitated, not sure if Topaz's claim of color blindness was as well known as she insisted. Unable to see color, but if we can resolve that somehow, she could be returned and be unable to see color, but if we can resolve that somehow, she could return and be... So this is a broken nymph? She tilted... So it is a broken nymph. She tilted her head, staring at me in disbelief. Why do you still have it? I blinked, tilting my own head. Because she needs me, but I am ill-suited to this and do not know what I am doing. You, however... She scoffed. If you want the broken nymph destroyed, do it to yourself. If you want the broken nymph destroyed, do it yourself. I do not recall willing myself to move. I do know I had her... I do not recall willing myself to move. I do know I had her pressed against the cavern wall, hoof over her mouth, and suddenly I had a fury that I did not know what to do with. Idle angry, idle showing emotions. The most difficult part of any Idle Hooves reading. um, Never speak that again. Alright, let's see. Idle. Get down into idle. There we go. Never speak that again. I dropped her, backing away, shamed at my own outburst. I had been hoping you would care for her. It is what you wanted, is it not? She rubbed her jaw, annoyed, but she only rubbed at her jaw, annoyed and not in the least cowed. I want my own. What care have I for this pitiful thing? I want my own. What care have I for this pitiful thing? She laughed mockingly. By the Queen's own commands, I cannot even purchase eggs at the market. If I buy a dozen chicken eggs, if I dare to think of them as my eggs, I am compelled to cast them to the cobble and crush them all. It will be all that I can think of until my deed is done. By all means, give me one that the queen has deemed better than my own and still proven flawed. The grin she gave me was wicked, chillingly so. The grin she The grin she gave me was wicked, chillingly so. Yeah, I will probably defend any child against the idea of being put down, but yeah, he's protective of this one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's his child. He just doesn't know it yet. The nymph distribution system has struck. The grin she gave me was wicked, chillingly so. The grin she gave me was wicked, chillingly so. The queen will get her back, I assure you. I believe we are done here. Yes, I believe we are. She left, surely navigating the caverns below Canterlot as only a subterranean species can. I watched her go, dismayed, confused, and hurt. While I had never pried too far into the affairs of other exiles, this was the first who had shown open hostility towards the Hive, or the Queen. I watched her go, dismayed, confused, and hurt. While I had never pried too far into the affairs of other exiles, this was the first who had shown open hostility towards the Hive, or the Queen. The Hive, or the Queen. There was something bordering madness there. I did not know how our kind suffered from it. It was more troubling than I could put into words. The nymph was no longer reading her book. She merely stared at the page, and hurt flowed from her. Oh no, Cersus! I forgot your voice already! Cersus, no! Don't do this to me! Oh, Cersus, she was back. She was back over. She sounded. No, not. That's too high. um. It was 3 knocks then, too. Okay, I think. Okay. Alright. I think this is what I gave Cersus. Right? This sounds Cersus enough. It was 3 knocks then, too. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Just on the very tip. Oh, gosh. There we go. Am I really broken? Am I really broken? I settled down in front of her, lifting her chin and meeting her eyes. I fear we are all broken, nymph, but you are far less so. My eyes flitted back to where the exile had gone. I want you to stay with Topaz for a few nights, at least. Even if you do not come into the house, I want you to be near the entrance of her home so that we may check on you. She blinked rapidly, then seemed defensive. Why? I can take care of myself. Assuredly you can, I accepted. But I do not think I like the... Why? I can take care of myself. Assuredly you can, I accepted. But I do not think I like that one knowing where you rest your head. Her response was quiet, but she seemed more relieved than belligerent. Kay. Yay, I finished another paragraph break. Let's go. It very rarely happens on this show, but some reading was had and had been happening. What do y'all think of the voice of the Eggmare. Eggling. I don't know why I keep calling her Eggmare. It's the Eggling. I mean, this is kind of the first and last time we see her, so it's not terribly important. A momentous occasion. Yes! Party! Woo! Bring out the streamers. Reading had been happening. And it's very confusing when it does because we never know what to do with ourselves. Progress? On this book? But yeah, it was great to get this through. Oh, you aren't to the chapter where she becomes a tertiary main character? Is that the race war chapter that Des keeps telling us? I think she could have used slightly more brittle edge, but I do like it. Unfortunately, I am limited in my breaking. She's Mother Marion. Mother Marion. Gosh, that sounds like a Skyrim reference, but I do not know because I haven't played Skyrim ever. I just watched playthroughs of it. I am I am a fake horse gamer. There were a few moments where it felt like she was becoming fem-idol. Fidel, if you will. Yeah, I realized way too late in it that her voice, where I placed her range, is very similar to where I place Idol's range as well. It's just hers is slightly higher, but just barely so. I might record it later through editing, but I think where it is right now, I'm fairly happy with it. Changeling all should sound similar, though. That's true. And if we ever get another vignette where it's Topaz interacting with Circe or Idol, I'll add like a slight buzz underneath all of them, especially if they're in their natural forms. Because my headcanon now, because we discussed it a couple of weeks ago, is that changelings naturally filter out the buzz that they have in their native tongues, that they speak because they're just so used to it. But ponies, they will just hear that slight undertone, an undertone of zzz underneath them, no matter where they, no matter what they are, as long as they're in their natural form. So they'll all sound like Chrysalis to an extent, but they'll all sound like the buzzing Chrysalis does, except it's way toned back. And like, kind of like the princesses, if anyone's noticed, the godliness behind each princess's voice, it actually changes depending on which princess is talking. Celestia has the most, because she is the most rejuvenated and powerful at this point in time. Cadence being the least. And when Luna first returned, she was at the same level as Cadence. But the last time we checked in on Luna, she is halfway between the two. And I don't know if I should. And I have a feeling that I'll increase it more as Luna properly gets into her full form. Like after Nightmare Night, she'll be on the same level as Celestia. But that's just a canon, a head canon. Thanks for listening. But yeah, it's great to have a new voice out of the way for me to forget. And then to have it plague me if Eggling ever comes back into the main part of the story again. But I believe that is pretty much all the time we have for this week. Though I will say, if I do stream next week, who knows, it might be Saturday, it might be Sunday. I'll find out as soon as I find out from my sister. We will continue where we left off. And who knows, maybe we'll finally finish Moonshine, chapter 56. Moonlight shine down on me. Oh no, this was 54. Chapter 54, Moonshine down on me. It is too late to change the chapter numberings. So unfortunately, the nice chapter won't fall on the nice number. I might fix it. I would have to re-record. I'll fix it in... You know what I'll do? You know what I'll do, V? Just for you. I'll fix it in post. I will... if I ever release the full official audiobook for Changeling of the Guard, I will fix the chapter titles so it all lines up super nicely. I will go through one by one and record chapter 5, chapter 27, chapter 28, chapter 29, chapter 30. Because unfortunately, you did not make us aware that these chapters are not, that vignettes counted as chapters. So unfortunately, once we get to the chapter just before the Cancelot wedding, where Idol does... Oh, pensive, no! The chapter where everything happens... Welcome, pensive. I'm just you're just in time for me to end stream. Oh man, it happens to the best of us. Yeah, that chapter is just going to be called whatever I name the chapter, rather than what the chapter is actually called on FimFiction. So everyone will know it's it's V's fault for not properly labeling the chapters from the get-go, and having a crazy person on the internet label it for him. But yeah, Pensive, you missed me. We talked about the con. We finished reading Eggmare, or Eggling. So you missed everything. Ah, man. Shoot. At least your driving test went good, I hope. Man, honestly, I wish that driving tests were required multiple in order to renew a license sometimes. Like, not every time you need to renew a license, just, like, maybe every other time. Because there are some people that do not know how to drive. We actually finished something. Not the chapter, but definitely that paragraph break. We did the whole thing with Eggling, with the Eggmare. And the first and last time she's ever shown in the story. And I had to create a whole new voice. I'll try and not have to overlay with other voices as more voices come down the line, because I kind of know where this story is heading, and V hates me. So stop adding characters, V. I can only do so many variations. We'll have to just start going back into accents, and everyone loses at that point. Gosh, I wonder if there's somewhere I can do to, like, take acting classes. Like, not acting classes, but voice acting. Like, accents 101. Voice coaches. That's what it is. Maybe eventually I'll get a voice coach. Be like, okay, how do I do this accent? Please, I need it for horse words. Oh, man. But, yeah, I am... But yes, unfortunately, it is that time that I am officially out of water. Which is always the measuring stick for when I have to end these streams, because without water, not yeah, my voice would just die instantly. So that's why it's an arbitrary 2 hours for these streams. And anytime I go longer, I have like 4 other cups of water waiting in the wings, so I can just keep on being hydrated throughout the whole thing. But for these regular streams, we only get 1 cup of water to play with, and it lasts about 2 hours. So that's why that's the hard cutoff now. And honestly, I'm just kind of stalling for time now, because technically the stream didn't start until 1:15 or 11:15. Not because I started at 11:15. I started at 11:05. It's just I didn't notice that the stream wasn't started for another 10 minutes. Couldn't you have planned like 2 days in advance so I didn't plan my 2 hour lesson at the same time? Hey, I stream practically every week at the same time. I try to make it every week, but we all know why I didn't do it last week. I usually do try and make it so, like, the announcement goes up long before. This week I just kept forgetting until I'm like, oh wait, I haven't did the announcement yet, and it's in 2 hours, and it's now. So then I quickly made it for now. But yeah, well, maybe next week I'll be better planned and prepared. It tis the season for completely rehauling everything that's going on. Anyways, I shall talk to you all next time. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend. And if you see me in the future, I might carry a couple idle buttons with me for y'all to collect them all. Anyways, I'll catch you later. Bye.